A lot of people think that poor listening skills automatically mean you have a poor vocabulary, but that's not necessarily true. Like the two aren't always connected. Many times the real issue is our speech perception rather than vocabulary knowledge. Like the speech is arriving faster than our brain can process it. Like think about watching a Chinese TV show without subtitles, right? Even if your native language is Chinese, you might still have problems understanding what people are saying. Like if you can't read, your hearing becomes so much worse, and that's the same in English. Yeah, and I think there are at least 3 levels of listening difficulty. The first level is simple, like you don't know the vocab. If you don't know the words, you obviously can't understand the message, of course, right? And the second level is that you know the words, but you can't recognize them in real speech. Like for example, some English words are pronounced differently from how you guys expect them to sound. Like comfortable, right? Many learners expect it to be pronounced as comfortable, but a lot of Americans say like comfortable, so 3 syllables. Yeah, and there are reductions like gonna, wanna, kinda, and Americans like to pronounce T differently, like mountain instead of mountain, internet instead of internet, like water, better, city. So it's very difficult to recognize. And the third level is more advanced, and you know the vocab, you can recognize the sounds, but your processing speed can't keep up. Like a lot of international students have this problem because you have not had enough exposure to English in real life situations. And you can't just simply play English when you sleep. So John Sweller has this cognitive load theory, like our working memory is limited, kind of like the RAM in a computer, right? We can only process a certain amount of information at one time. So when you first learn to drive, you're constantly thinking, where's the brake? Where's the gas pedal? Like, should I check my mirrors, my rear view mirror or side view mirrors? Do I need to signal? When should I stop? Like learning English can feel the same way. Like for example, if someone asks, what do you want to do after work? Like you have to figure out several things at once, right? Like what did they say? Is it want to or wanna? What tense? Is it yesterday after work or in the future? And by the time you processed all of that, the person has already moved on to the next sentence and you are too scared to ask, sorry, what was that again? Pardon? And it's not that you don't know English, it's just your brain is so overloaded with the information and you can't process everything quickly enough in real time. Like when I go to a sports bar and there are TVs everywhere, right? And there aren't any subtitles and I'm not very familiar with a lot of the sports jargon. And also the bar is like so loud, like sometimes Americans have to guess what the commentators are saying. So in this kind of situation, it's not really an English problem, right? It's just a very difficult listening environment for everyone. So the question is, how do we improve our English listening without overloading our brains? And many of you are familiar with Stephen Krashen's input hypothesis. It's very famous, right? It's I plus 1, and the idea is that your current level is I, and you should expose yourself to material that is slightly above your current level. So that is plus 1, right? That's how language acquisition happens. And for reading, it works very well. But listening, I think is different, right? When you read, the text stays on the page and you can reread the same sentence like 10 times if you want. And you can slow down, you can analyze it. And listening doesn't work that way. Like speech disappears the moment it's spoken. And on top of that, like listening has a lot of other difficulties like connected speech, like weak forms, like sound reduction, right? Dropped sounds, or different accents, different dialects, fast speaking speed, right? And background noise. And some people are just sensitive to certain sounds. even in a quiet environment. For example, like when I was taking the Gaokao English listening exam, I couldn't stop noticing people swallowing their saliva, like the water in their mouth. It was so weird. Like every time I heard it, it made my ears feel all tingly. You know, it's kind of like ASMR, but it was uncomfortable, of course, when I was taking the test. Yeah. So because of these extra difficulties, I actually think you guys should use a different strategy for listening. Instead of I+1, I would recommend I-1. Like if you're an intermediate learner, your reading material can be intermediate to advanced, right? That's for reading. But your listening material should probably be high beginner to intermediate. For example, if you can already read The Economist, I wouldn't recommend like listening to their podcast right away. If you don't know the material very well, I would like listen to something like Economist Espresso, like a news summary, like a lot shorter, easier to manage. And if you can watch Game of Thrones with subtitles, right? I wouldn't really recommend listening to that to practice English. I would recommend like something really defined as like Avatar, The Last Airbender, or Hilda, like in a similar genre, but a lot easier. So the goal is to find something that is challenging enough to help you improve, but not so difficult that you get overwhelmed and you finally just give up. So before you can understand what you're hearing, you first need to be able to hear it clearly, right?